November 22, 1963. A day that shattered the American dream. President John F. Kennedy's assassination in Dallas, Texas, sent shockwaves across the nation, but the questions it left behind still haunt us today. Was Lee Harvey Oswald the lone gunman? Or was it a carefully orchestrated conspiracy involving the government, the Mafia, or even foreign powers? The truth is buried in a web of secrets, and we're diving deep to uncover what happened.
By the fall of 1963, President John F. Kennedy and his political advisors were preparing for the next presidential campaign. Although he had not formally announced his candidacy, it was clear that President Kennedy was going to run, and he seemed confident about his chances for re-election. At the end of September, the president traveled west, speaking in 9 states in less than a week. The trip was meant to spotlight natural resources and conservation efforts. But JFK also used it to sound out themes such as education, national security, and world peace for his run in 1964.
Crowds of excited people lined the streets and waved to the Kennedys. The car turned off Main Street at Dealey Plaza around 12:30 p.m. As it was passing the Texas School Book Depository, gunfire suddenly reverberated in the plaza. Bullets struck the president's neck and head, and he slumped over toward Mrs. Kennedy. The governor was shot in his back. The car sped off to Parkland Memorial Hospital just a few minutes away. But little could be done for the president. A Catholic priest was summoned to administer the last rites, and at 1 p.m., John F. Kennedy was pronounced dead. Though seriously wounded, Governor Connally would recover. Officially, 3 shots were fired. The first missed, the second hit JFK in the neck and Texas Governor John Connally, and the third was the fatal shot to JFK's head.
Within hours, police arrested Lee Harvey Oswald, a former Marine with ties to the Soviet Union. Oswald was accused of firing the shots from the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository. On Sunday morning, November 24th, Oswald was scheduled to be transferred from police headquarters to the county jail. Viewers across America watching the live television coverage suddenly saw a man aim a pistol and fire at point-blank range. The assailant was identified as Jack Ruby, a local nightclub owner. Oswald died 2 hours later at Parkland Hospital. This shocking twist left many questions unanswered. The Warren Commission, tasked with investigating the assassination, concluded that Oswald acted alone. But not everyone was convinced. Almost immediately, people began to question the official story. Here are some of the most popular conspiracy theories.
Cuba is central to several conspiracy theories. One theory, that the Cuban government was responsible, gathered steam after the Senate Select Committee to study governmental operations concerning intelligence activities revealed that the Central Intelligence Agency had made several attempts to assassinate Cuban leader Fidel Castro. In denying the allegations, Castro argued that such an action would have posed too great a risk of retaliation by the United States. This line of thought finds great significance in a trip that Oswald made in late September 1963 to Mexico City, where he remained until early October and made repeated attempts to contact the Cuban and Soviet consulates. After the assassination, the CIA was accused of obstructing investigations. Key documents were classified, and witnesses with ties to the agency mysteriously died. This has led many to believe the CIA was hiding something. Even the Warren Commission, which concluded Oswald acted alone, relied heavily on CIA-provided information. Critics argue this created a conflict of interest and allowed the agency to control the narrative. While there's no smoking gun proving the CIA's involvement, the theory raises important questions about power, secrecy, and accountability. Was JFK's assassination a rogue operation, or did it go all the way to the top? One thing's for sure, the CIA theory continues to captivate historians, conspiracy theorists, and anyone who wonders what happened on that tragic day in Dallas.
Another compelling theory is that the Mafia was behind JFK's assassination. But why would organized crime want to kill the president? Let's dig into the connections, motives, and evidence. It all starts with the Kennedy family's complicated relationship with organized crime. JFK's father, Joseph P. Kennedy, was rumored to have ties to the Mafia during Prohibition, when bootlegging was a lucrative business. Later, during JFK's 1960 presidential campaign, his brother Robert Kennedy allegedly sought help from the Mafia to secure votes in key states like Illinois and West Virginia. Some even claim that Chicago mob boss Sam Giancana helped deliver critical votes. Once JFK became president, he appointed his brother Robert as Attorney General. RFK launched an aggressive campaign against organized crime, targeting mob leaders and their operations. This crackdown infuriated the Mafia. Mob bosses like Carlos Marcello, Sam Giancana, and Santo Trafficante felt betrayed. They believed the Kennedys had used them to get into power and then turned against them. The Mafia had plenty of reasons to want JFK dead. Not only were their profits being hit by RFK's investigations, but some mob bosses were also facing deportation or imprisonment. Carlos Marcello, the boss of the New Orleans Mafia, was deported to Guatemala in 1961 but secretly returned to the US. He allegedly vowed revenge on the Kennedys, saying, "Take the stone out of my shoe." Lee Harvey Oswald, the accused assassin, had indirect ties to the Mafia. While living in New Orleans, he was seen associating with individuals linked to Carlos Marcello's organization. Even more suspicious is Jack Ruby, the man who killed Oswald. Ruby was a nightclub owner with known connections to the Chicago Mafia. Some believe he silenced Oswald to prevent him from revealing a larger conspiracy. The Mafia had the resources and expertise to pull off an assassination. They were skilled in covert operations, bribery, and eliminating enemies without leaving a trace. Some theorists believe the Mafia hired professional hitmen to carry out the assassination, using Oswald as a patsy to divert attention. Over the years, several mob figures have hinted at their involvement. For example, Santo Trafficante allegedly told his lawyer that JFK's assassination was the only way to get rid of the Kennedys. Additionally, Carlos Marcello reportedly confessed to his cellmate that he was involved in the assassination. While these claims are hard to verify, they add weight to the theory. If the Mafia was involved, how did they get away with it? Some believe they used their influence to manipulate the investigation, ensuring that the focus remained on Oswald as the lone gunman. The Mafia's connections to law enforcement, politicians, and even the CIA could have helped them cover their tracks. This web of corruption makes it difficult to uncover the truth. The Mafia theory is compelling because it ties together personal vendettas, political power, and organized crime. While there's no definitive proof, the connections are hard to ignore. These theories have fueled decades of speculation, books, and even movies, but is there any evidence to support them?
Let's look at the facts. The Warren Commission's findings were based on ballistics, eyewitness accounts, and Oswald's background. However, critics argue the investigation was rushed and ignored key details. For example, the magic bullet theory suggests that a single bullet caused multiple wounds to both JFK and Connolly, which some find hard to believe. Additionally, the Zapruder film, which captured the assassination, has been analyzed frame by frame, with some claiming it shows JFK's head moving backward, suggesting a shot from the front.
Even after 60 years, the JFK assassination remains a hot topic. Why? Because it represents a turning point in American history. It shattered the nation's innocence and sparked distrust in the government. It also raises bigger questions about transparency, power, and how history is written. Who gets to tell the story? And can we ever truly know the truth?
So, what happened on that fateful day in Dallas? The truth may be out there, but for now, it remains one of history's greatest mysteries. What do you think? Was it a lone gunman, a conspiracy, or something else? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more fascinating history content. Until next time, stay curious.